you think of the performance and some really interesting changes to the side?
Yeah, look, I was just thrilled for the boys to get the 3 points. It's a long way to go, Perth, and to come away with a last-minute winner gives everyone a lot of confidence moving forward. But the boys worked very hard for the result, and I think it showed great stamina to be able to get bodies forward in the 94th minute after a long trip to score the winner.
Mm. And throwing them on the plane that morning was very much talked about as a tactical thing, stroke of genius.
Oh yeah, I mean, we were just prepared to try something different. We hadn't had great performances in Perth over the last few years, so the time difference gets you because you wake up very early in the morning over there, 3 hours. They're 3 hours behind Sydney, and by the end of the day, when you kick off, it's about 9:30 back home Sydney time at night. So it's a long day. We saw some tired faces last year and the year before, so we thought we'd try something. The faces were a lot fresher, and we ended up getting the win.
Mm. Well, the more time you can spend on this beautiful Central Coast, the better, isn't it? I mean, this is just the best place ever. You wouldn't want to leave.
No, it's God's country up here, but just great to be back at Bluetongue, and we've got 2 home games now in a row, and the boys are very focused on Melbourne Victory tomorrow night. It should be a cracker of a game, and the training sessions this week have been very sharp, and I think that's another bonus of travelling to Perth on game day. We had one less day over there, so the recovery this week's been a lot quicker.
They were sensational last week. 3-0, 10 men. Milligan's razor-sharp boot was carving through the high line of Adelaide and just creating havoc. He was putting people through left, right and centre. How do you combat that?
Yeah, look, I mean, it comes down to our defensive structure and our discipline in defence and our attitude to defence. And last week, that was one of the real strong points, and that's ultimately what got us the result last week was those things I've just mentioned. So, Millsy's a fantastic player. They've got other dangerous players, Barbarousis, Archie Thompson, Troisi, Mitch Nichols. So they've got plenty of players who can hurt you, but at the end of the day, if you've got your backyard in order and your defensive structure is good, then our job is to frustrate them and make sure we take our chances that we will definitely create over the 90 minutes.
The pleasing thing for you is that the combination is still not quite there. He's still not 100%. So the team's still got a little way to go to peak.
Yeah, I think the pleasing thing from last week was, although we got the win, the boys weren't delighted with the performance on the ball, and that's a good sign for me. If the Victory had papered over some of the cracks with the ball, then I would have been disappointed. But our standards are very high. We know we can play much better with the ball, and that's certainly been a focus this week, and that's one of our targets for tomorrow night.
A little bit rusty on transitions still, getting the ball forward in a fluent sort of way. Isn't happening as it did. Then again, you saw how good Tommy Rogic was for the Socceroos the other night. He was the standout. So you've lost a lot of players. Is that still gelling?
Yeah, it is, and that's a work in progress. And I think you can put a lot of that down to the fact we haven't. I don't think we've named the same starting 11 2 weeks in a row yet this season. So that all comes down to consistency in the lineup and boys understanding each other and getting used to a few little tweaks here and there. But Marcos Flores, McGlinchey, Duke, Matty Simon, Daniel McBreen, those types of players are really starting to find each other and understand each other now. So I think you'll see that steadily improve over the coming weeks.
You've got a wealth of strikers, haven't you? They seem to be of similar mould, big, tall, strong, aggressive fellas. Having McGlinchey come back in and add that rapier speed to attack was a very noticeable thing.
Yeah, that's right. McGlinchey, he's a key to the way we want to play, and he came off two international games with New Zealand, flew to Mexico and back in the space of 10 days, and he was fantastic last week, and probably tired a little bit towards the end, but still had the energy to set Rosie up for the cross that led to the goal in the 94th minute. So he'll get better and better now that he's back on terra firma, and we're looking forward to building on what the foundations that we set last weekend.
I've got to ask you about all of this speculation about games at North Sydney and the rest of it. Obviously, the fans love you here and don't want to travel to there, but what is the model? What is the situation? We saw that the North Sydney Bears, if they got going, Central Coast Bears would have to play there and here to have a strong financial base. Is that the same thing for the Mariners?
Look, I think our owner, Mr. Charlesworth, is just exploring avenues to save some money, and you can't blame him. There's the owners in the A-League put a lot of their hard-earned money where their mouth is. And if there's ways and means to save money, you can't blame them for exploring that. But look, I think the Central Coast Mariners belong to the community on the Central Coast, and we're very proud of our relationship with the community. And I know that the community is very proud of what the Mariners do for the region. So the only way to stop all this talk is to put bums on seats at Bluetongue. That's the bottom line. And if I can appeal to all the Central Coast community who love having the Mariners here on the Central Coast, show your support by sitting on a seat at Bluetongue at home games. And if we can get 10,000 plus for all our home games as an average crowd, then I think you'll see that talk slowly disappear.